This is what they do for living. This is what they do day in, day out. But I have to admit that without them, they have their own little ecosystem that without them, a lot of businesses locally will not be able to survive. So I really want to recognize all of them and really thank you, Roberto Geronimo. Come on, stand up, all the people from the media down here. So people see who you are. Párense la gente de los medios, párense para conocerlos. Manuel, Rafael Díaz, mi hermano Andy Sala, a mi Roberto Jerónimo, a mi hermano Arduey, su hijo, no, Francis Mete, no, la del programa de Carolyn, disculpen amor, Francis Mete, Luciano, y más se me olvida, pero tú campeón.
¿Cómo que no?
DJ Juan, ¿cómo es? Beatriz, Belkis, ¿se me olvida alguien? Félix Grant, Manuel Sierra, fotógrafo,
Rafael Díaz,
Roberto
Ya lo dijo ya.
García, Rafael Díaz, and many more, and I really want to thank you for the support. So thank you. Carbucia, and the reality is that I really want to really thank you and recognize you for being here and supporting this effort, because this is gonna be helpful for the whole Latino community in general here in New York City and across the nation. Ya para concluir en español, a few words in Spanish. Quiero dar las gracias a todos ustedes por venir acá. Para mí es un placer, un honor el que realmente estemos aquí lanzando esta asociación. Creo que la asociación, lo he dicho ya varias veces, no es algo que es mío, no es nuestro, es algo que es de todos. Y la idea aquí realmente es de que entre todos podamos levantarla, hacer lo que hay que hacer para que esto crezca. La asociación va realmente a crear un ecosistema que va a ayudar a miles y miles de personas a poder crear abundancia y posiblemente lograr el famoso sueño americano. Y para mí es un honor y le doy las gracias a todos por estar aquí, por participar y por realmente venir y darnos todo su apoyo. ¿Ok? Gracias. Thank you.
Radio Show. No se lo pierdan, que eso está caliente. Inscríbanse.
Create a podcast. That's in the plan?
Yes.
All right, good. I mean, part of the education strategic, we created a podcast, and I really wanna thanks all. I mean, I know Natalie participated in that podcast as a guest, and we have Francie, I think was there once, Mendes in that podcast. The idea of the podcast basically came out of just how we're gonna promote franchising, and we try to bring an executive, a franchise founders, a franchisee, someone that is in the industry that can really tell us how they did it, and perhaps we would like to inspire other people that do it the same way they did it. Our mission is to promote and support and expand franchising in the Latino community. And our vision is to become the go-to place for everything franchising in the Latino community. You're gonna learn, and I'm gonna give you tips right now, so you don't think, I mean, all of this is great what we're doing, but I really want to recognize someone that really started this whole movement in terms of the Latino franchising, and that person is Jorge Ferraz from Dallas, Texas. Jorge, I want to recognize you right now. Jorge has been the only Latino that I know that has been doing an event at the national level called the Latino Franchise Symposium. It's gonna be the ninth Latino Franchise Symposium is coming up in April. And believe me, he has been the only one, besides my other brother, Ricardo Rivera, who has been really lifting up. He took the island of Puerto Rico like this and put it on his back, and he has been carrying the island of Puerto Rico. And believe me, these two gentlemen deserve a great recognition. Come on, stand up, both of you. Because you guys are the champion and the true hero in the franchising industry, because you guys been doing it for quite a while already. And we're gonna hear from you later on, but thank you for being here. And I believe to continue.
Bueno,
Oye, I forgot to mention Jackie. Come on, guys. She has been supporting us also.
Era muy chiquita, tenía como, este momento yo tenía como 40 franquicias y yo empecé como supervisora. Luego después, como yo siempre trabajé con ventas, empecé a trabajar a los 12 años de edad, siempre con ventas, entonces me invitaron a ser parte de la expansión internacional. La expansión de la marca en Brasil. Y ahí yo vendí 124 franquicias en 10 meses.
Wow.
En 2015 me invitaron a ser parte de la expansión internacional. Entonces yo fui a vivir en Portugal y de ahí me invitaron a ser directora de marketing. Entonces yo trabajaba todo lo que era branding de la marca y ayudé a abertura de la marca en varios países de Europa, como Alemania, Francia, Italia, España y Portugal. En 2018 yo ya tenía muchos años trabajando en esta empresa y yo ya sabía muy bien cómo ser un master, un franchisor. Entonces yo invité a los dueños y dije, mira, necesito ahora una oportunidad porque yo quiero ser la master. Y entonces me ofrecieron Polonia. Y yo dije, no, Polonia es demasiado frío, no quiero Polonia. Y yo pedí México. Entonces, decía, bueno, está bien, si quiere México, tiene 15 días para hacer todo. Entonces yo viajé a México y negocié 2 centros comerciales sin hablar español. Entonces yo fui casi que haciendo dibujos. Y bueno, y me aceptaron 2 marcas. Entonces hice un préstamo en un banco y fue cuando con ese dinero fui a México y abrimos los 2 primeros centros comerciales. Esto fue en finalitos de 2018. En 2019 ya teníamos 17 franquicias. En 2020 nos agarró la pandemia. Salimos de 17 para 9 y fue el momento que más trabajamos. Trabajamos muy fuerte ahí. Y un año después ya teníamos más de 50 franquicias y hoy ya estamos con 70 franquicias. En medio de todo eso fue cuando tuvimos la idea de hacer una marca propia, que es Trinity, y tenemos otra que se llama Bongo Brasil. Trinity es una marca de lentes de sol y relojes automáticos, y lo más interesante para mí fue que antes de la primera abertura ya teníamos vendido más de 10 franquicias. Estamos muy contentos, ya tenemos una ya operando, tenemos otras 4 para inaugurar en este mes, otras 4 para el próximo, y nuestra proyección es abrir 4 por mes hasta el fin de año.
Pues yo no les puedo hablar mucho de financiamiento porque todo lo hemos hecho mi esposa y yo out of the pocket. Así que yo me niego a hacer un plan de negocio. No me interesa presentarle un plan de negocio a un banco. No me interesa pasar el proceso que pasamos en Puerto Rico para buscar financiamiento. Ayer mismo tuve una pelea con el Banco de Desarrollo Económico de Puerto Rico tratando de defender los intereses de nuestros clientes, de franquiciados, franchisees de Wings and Fries, porque pues, los procesos son fuertes. Even though tenemos garantías de SBA, porque estamos en el Franchise Registry de SBA, pero como quiera, pues es bien fuerte para los pequeños comerciantes. Es como, like you said, if you don't need the money, then they will offer the money. So, si yo pues cuento con el capital, hoy hemos sido prudentes, ¿verdad? Tanto mi esposa como yo y el grupo de trabajo hemos sido prudentes en el ahorro, financieramente responsables con todo, pues preferimos nosotros invertir en nosotros mismos. Acabamos de invertir en un nuevo proyecto que abrió el agosto pasado, $1 millón, y lo tuvimos que hacer completamente de nuestro bolsillo, porque es que no vamos a ir al banco a esperar que nos den una contestación en 3, 4, 6 meses, cuando hay que pagar alquiler, ya empieza un negocio en rojo. Así que nos ponen en una posición de entonces nosotros invertir nuestro propio capital, pero lo hacemos con toda la confianza del mundo, porque sabemos, no sabemos del éxito que va a tener el producto en el lugar donde lo vamos a abrir, es que sabemos la ética de trabajo, sabemos la dedicación que nosotros le vamos a poner al concepto, y eso pues en muchas ocasiones puede tener un producto que no sea tan fuerte, pero definitivamente la gente que está detrás empuja fuertemente el producto o el servicio que vamos a dar. Así que desafortunadamente no les puedo hablar de nuestra experiencia con financiamiento, pero sí podríamos hablarles de la experiencia con nuestros operadores, con las 40 marcas que tenemos, y que definitivamente, pues sí, el proceso en muchas ocasiones es a través de financiamiento de pequeños negocios con inversiones menores a $100,000, $200,000 y en muchas ocasiones con garantías de SBA, porque para eso es que están ellos, que nos apoyen, ¿verdad? Así que empujamos fuertemente para que SBA también apoye a esta comunidad, y eso ya lo estamos conversando también, que estuvieron en el evento con nosotros allá en Puerto Rico recientemente.
Working for Rafael. So I have a varied background, and by the way, I was also a franchisee myself from 2007 to 2012. So I've kind of had the experience on both sides of the table, which I found to be very interesting and helpful in terms of understanding the dynamics of the relationship. And because franchising is a very unique relationship in that the franchisee is kind of your customer and your partner at the same time, which is a very unique. I currently have over 140 small and medium-sized franchises as clients. And so I've seen quite a bunch of different practices, and I'm pretty experienced in the issues relating to franchising.
Okay. Hello. Good afternoon. First, I'd like to thank Rafael for the invitation. I'm so happy to be here. And my name is Natalie. I'm born in São Paulo, Brazil. And I'm not sure that I can speak all the history in English, so I prefer to talk in Spanish, okay?
Boa sorte.
Obrigada, gracias. Bueno, mi nombre es Natalia Oliveira, yo nací en Brasil, soy casada con Paulo Argollo, tenemos 3 hijos. Nicolás de 6 años, Leonardo de 3 y pequeña Laura de 1 año. Paulo también mi socio y somos fundadores de Trinity, una marca que nació en México, pero mi historia empezó antes en el mundo de franquicias. Entonces yo empecé con Nation, que es una marca que empezó también en Brasil en 2012. Entonces yo fui invitada a trabajar ahí como supervisora, pero yo siempre trabajé con ventas. No sé si es ya para hablar todo eso aquí, apenas una introducción. ¿Ok? Entonces, dedico-me a franquicias ya hace mucho y mucho gusto por estar aquí.
Buenas tardes a todos. Mi nombre es Fabiola Guerrero. Soy ecuatoriana. Soy la CEO y founder de Rose & Florist. Es la primera franquicia latina de flores en los Estados Unidos. Gracias por la invitación. Me siento muy orgullosa y muy privilegiada de estar aquí. Y bueno, comenzamos hace 8 años, que ya les vamos a dar un poco más de la historia de cómo comenzó todo. Gracias, Rafael, por la invitación, y gracias por siempre confiar en mí y por estar empujándome siempre con mi proyecto. Good afternoon, my name is Fabiola Guerrero. I am from Ecuador. I am the CEO and founder of Rose & Florist. I feel blessed to be here, and I thank Rafael for always being pushing me, and I feel blessed that we are here today. And yeah, thank you for the invitation.
Muy buenas tardes a todos. Gracias por la oportunidad de acompañarlos en el día de hoy. Como ya me presentaron, mi nombre es Ricardo Rivera Badía, soy el presidente de All Around Franchise Consultants, es la única consultora especializada en el desarrollo de franquicias puertorriqueñas en Puerto Rico. Soy el fundador de la Asociación de Franquicias de Puerto Rico y también el CEO de Family Food LLC, que somos los desarrolladores de Wings and Fries Company, un concepto de alitas y papitas en Puerto Rico. Pero yo creo que mi posición más importante es que soy el esposo de Luz Batista. Quien en realidad corre e inspira lo que nosotros hacemos. Esto para mí es un día sumamente importante y yo creo que yo vengo soñando con este día desde el año 2000. Así es que 23 años más tarde, por fin puedo decir que se da este gran logro gracias a mi hermano Rafael, porque está permitiendo que yo viva algo bien importante y que lo venimos soñando desde hace mucho tiempo, y es que poderle llevar la justicia en la industria de franquicia a los latinos.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to do it again. So, my name is Ricardo Rivera Badia. I am the president of All Around Franchise Consulting, also the president of the Puerto Rican Franchise Association, and also the CEO of Family Food LLC, who is the creator of Wings and Fries Company in Puerto Rico. It's been a dream of mine since maybe 23 years ago, finally see what has been accomplished today with a lot of work from my brother Rafael and his team. I've been after the main international franchise associations, trying to push and for them to visualize and take a look of us, the Latino community, but they won't do it. So it took very important people in the Latino community to take charge and the bull by the horn and do it by themselves. And I'm here to help you push that bull, to help fight, because there's gonna be fight, but we're ready. So, and we box, so we Puerto Ricans box. So nothing. Thank you, and thank you very much for all of you for being here, because it's very important. Your presence is very important for what we're doing here.
Okay, thanks, everybody. As I've heard from 3 or 4 people who spoke earlier, one of the biggest issues in getting started is raising capital. And it seems like it's particularly more difficult in the Latino community. So I'm going to ask each person on the panel how they got their business started financially, how they got their initial business started, and how they were able to fund the growth into franchising. Who would like to go first? Don't everybody raise your hand at the same time. All right, we're going in a...
I go first, okay. So at the beginning it was very difficult. You know, nobody wants to give you money if you don't have a business. So we asked many banks for loans, and nobody wants to give us the money. And they say no. Well, they obviously they don't want to give you the money if you are not stable. So they are like, how many years do you have the business? I'm like, I'm starting. So they're like, okay, no, we cannot give you the money. So it was very difficult at the beginning, try and we'll knock on a lot of doors, and nobody wants to give us the money. So finally we find someone that was able to give us the money. They gave us a loan, and we opened up the business, and we started from there. It was very difficult, and after that we partnered with a different people that believe in us, and that's how we started. And then we share, like they do their work, we do it together, and it gets better.
So the initial people who lent you the money, what kind of, was it friends and family? Was it a bank?
It was both. It was friends, it was family, and then it was the bank that we
So the bank jumped in after they saw you had some money?
No, they gave us as a personal loan.
Okay.
Because if you tell them, you know, it's for business, they're gonna be like, oh no, thank you. So we tried, you know, to get the money that way, and
Okay, so-
luckily we got it, and we jumped in.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
You know the old saying with banks, they want to lend you money when you don't need it?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so true.
Yeah. So that's how we started, and you know, trying to invest the little that we have, try to grow the money that we have. We put everything in the business, working hard, making sure that we grow what we have, and we've been working very hard to make it to make it possible.
La radio show, no se lo pierdan, que eso está caliente. Inscríbanse.
Latino Leaders Magazine, and I am so happy to be here. Not only because I believe 100% in the power of organization and the power of action behind an interest and behind a business opportunity like what franchise represent for this economy and for in general the communities and especially our Latino community. So I want to congratulate first to Rafael and Moises and all the board of directors of this organization. As you mentioned, yes, when you start, you need to take the first step, but the first step is very important, and I think this is the great first step with the right foot to put this organization where it has to be and it needs to be in the future. So let me tell you a little bit about what I do and why that connects me to the franchise industry. I'm not a franchisor, not a franchisee, but I have this publication called Latino Leaders, and I founded this publication 22 years ago, and we started it in our headquarters in Dallas, although our publication is a national distributed publication, both in print and digital now. With the idea, we founded the magazine with the idea of admiring and identifying all those Latinos that were having success in anything. So we used to interview people from politics, people from the corporations, people from business, people from education, sports, entertainment, media, you name it. And it was our passion, and still is our passion, to identify these people, interview them, talk to them about their careers, how they evolved to be where they are, what were the values, the disciplines, all the goods and the moments and the bad moments also in their careers. And we believe that telling those stories to our readers would inspire others to become leaders themselves. And when we started doing that, we started discovering the power that inspiring others by telling stories and identifying these heroes that we've been talking about too, we discovered that power is really an immense power for our community, especially to the younger generations. So we kept going. We started, always any edition with good interviews and profiles and identifying, people in different areas in different states, and I would go and travel and meet with people and leaders, and I'd take nominations and recommendations to interview people and all that. And suddenly, over the years, I started, kind of discovering some of the industries in which I believe there was more opportunity because we lacked more Latinos in leadership positions. And some of these industries and some of these activities and some of these professions as well, we started making special editions and doing, features about the leaders, the few leaders in this industry, or the other leaders in that other industry or discipline or opportunity for business. And we started identifying these areas. The first conclusion that we had is that I agree with what has been said here. Moises mentioned it first. The Latino stories of leadership are really stories of heroic leadership. The Latino who is able to make it in this country is a real hero. It's a real and a true example. And yes, this is the country of opportunities. And yes, this is perhaps the best country in the world to live and create a business and live happy with your family, but at the same time, it's incredibly difficult to succeed because of the competition that everybody will face. There's 340 million Americans trying to do the same thing. So that's why I think that for Latinos, certain industries have been given more easy or easier in certain aspects and some more difficult in others. We have identified over the years some traits that most of the leaders that we have interviewed have. Over 22 years of publishing this magazine, I think we have interviewed a little over 7,000 leaders in many industries and many, in many companies, as I mentioned. It's everywhere from A to Z. And I started, kind of from the very beginning, trying to catch what are those either disciplines or values or ideas or actions or decisions that people made to become successful. And let me tell you something, and this is the plain truth. Being a leader doesn't mean that you are being perfect, right? Being a leader means that you are a very energized individual with a clear concept and a clear goal, and you are willing to do anything, even dying, for that objective. And on the way, you have a lot of followers looking at you and following you. That's a leader. Admire person. But that doesn't mean that you're perfect. That doesn't mean that your life is balanced. That doesn't mean that you are a genius or you are, it has a lot of different aspects. So we try to say, well, what are those things, or what are those single characteristics that are common to most of the leaders? And we have come up with one over the years. One that it is outstanding and gets most of the stories has these, and that is determination. So what does it mean? A good thing and a bad thing. A good thing for me is that everybody can be a leader if you insist enough, or if you are stubborn enough to not quit whatever you are trying to do. That's the lesson that I'm taking over 7,000 interviews being done in over 22 years with Latinos having succeeded in this country. Maybe the bad thing is that it is what I was explaining to you before. It doesn't mean that the leader is a genius or the leader is a magical person, inspired someone. No, it's just an ordinary people with an extraordinary determination. That's what we define leadership. So, and another, in the top 4 or 5 characteristics of leadership, we found there in the middle, entrepreneurship. And entrepreneurship is one of the most marked characteristics, not only of Latinos, but most of the minority and migrant minorities to this country. Why? Again, shadows and light. Why we all Latinos love entrepreneurship, and we are willing to go out and we have family and friends that would maybe lend some money or inspire us or support, and then we will start a little shop, we will start a little office space like Rafael did. Why? Because we have that thirst for success, right? That's the first thing. We have that thirst for success and that almost obsession to demonstrate to ourselves that we can do it too. That sí se puede, as we say, no? That if he can do it, I can do it too. And that pride, internal pride, is a wonderful driver. A wonderful driver, a wonderful motivator for every single career, every single professional path that I have observed. Now, the contraposition of the entrepreneurial spirit of the Latinos brings always a skeptical question to me and says, well, are we entrepreneurs because we want to be, or because sometimes we don't have another option, because we cannot access the positions, or we cannot access those, positions or opportunities in career, in corporate, because we lack maybe of education, or we lack of some experience, or we simply lack of the corporate culture that this country has. And in many of our cases, in our countries with our families, we haven't lived with that corporate culture, which is so important here to progress. So either for good or for bad, the fact is that if Latinos are so entrepreneurial, it means that Latinos are very interesting for the franchise industry. Why? Because franchise is all about being entrepreneur. It's all about, launching yourself into an adventure and having good partners, making good decisions, and hard work. That's what we have seen. So, over the years, we have also distinguished two things that could emancipate and could push Latinos over the limit, over the expectation of everyone else, in that sense, in the sense of becoming entrepreneurs. And one is, we need to be a little bit more educated and sort of embedded into the culture of business, right? Into the professional business culture. The franchise industry is a very complex industry, and Rafael knows that. It's an industry and a business full of contracts and little line and little legal things and brands that are valued in millions of dollars, and you are liable if you do something to them. And it is a complex industry. It's not like opening my shop and selling pan dulce every day, right? So the more business educated, what I have heard is that you need to be also financially literate, financially educated. You need to know what does it mean to go and ask for a loan at the SBA. What are you going to have to do? What is the requirements? What does the main banks will ask for you if you want to get $1 million to start a new restaurant or a new
La radio show, no se lo pierdan, que eso está caliente. Inscríbanse. La radio show, no se lo pierdan, que eso está caliente. Inscríbanse.
At the end of the day, it's all about education. Again, we need to learn, we need to grow, and this is a phrase that I think is very powerful. It is that education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare today. All of you that are here today, this is a great takeaway for you guys, because at the end of the day, we all planting a seed today, right? I know some of you, when you came here, you think, why am I gonna go to this event? I don't know what to expect, right? So this is what it is. You're here, you're planting a seed. You don't know what's gonna come out of this, but this is one of the things that we really believe. Education is the key for us. Now, me being the tech guy, the technology guy, right? I have to talk about technology. And definitely this is what I do. This is what I, on a daily basis, I'm involved in technology and also marketing, of course. Now, as an organization, what we want to do things different, right? When we talk about the ecosystem, how do we connect everyone involved? That is through technology. We want to use technology. We're building a platform where every franchisor, franchisee, supplier, and entrepreneur can connect. How can we connect all? That's what we're building, something that we call El Centro. Okay? El Centro is like a center of everything that's going on in our organization. And you're gonna come here, you're gonna be able to see like the latest news in the franchising industry, upcoming events. You will see the podcast. As a matter of fact, you can also join the podcast. We have LFA TV, where we're gonna be sharing videos of all the activities and all the events that we're gonna be doing. Also, you can share your own story. You can share your own information here, because at the end of the day, it's not just about us. It's all of us, right? That's why it's an organization, it's all of us. So this is what we call El Centro. You're gonna be able to post videos, photos, all of that. Now, part of our value proposition also is El Mercado. Again, this is just another way for us to connect franchisees, suppliers, franchisors, and we'll have a listing of everyone that's in the organization. Now, in order for you to be here though, of course, you need to be part of the association. You need to become a member. So we'll have LFA certification, and we also have the memberships, which I'm gonna talk briefly a little bit about. But at the end of the day, you're gonna be here, if you're a franchisor, all of your information will be here, like how much is it to invest in your franchise, how many locations you have, what's the total investment, and all that kind of information. And we'll have a map where you can see all of the franchisees, franchisors, and that's what we call El Mercado. It's like a marketplace, okay? Again, if you're a franchisor, at the end of the day, what a franchisor wants, it's more franchisees. So you have your own page as a franchisor, and we're gonna promote that page, and people that are part of the association can see it, and they can visit your website, they can get in touch with you, and they can see all the information about your brand. A little bit more of our value proposition: franchising conferences, expos, events. So what do we wanna do? We wanna bring everybody together. We wanna bring most of the influential people in the industry, not only in the Latino community, but also in other communities. We're gonna have live weekly webinars, trainings, and this is something that we already started doing. So we're just gonna continue doing it more. Like I said before, we have memberships where you can be part of it. You could, join the organization as a entrepreneur, franchisor, franchisee, or a supplier. And we also have mentoring. I said at the beginning, sometimes you want to grow, sometimes you're stuck in the same place. What you need is a little mentoring, and that's what we're going to provide to you. If you're just starting out, you don't have that knowledge of that experience. That's what we bring to the table. So we want to help you grow faster through mentoring, and not only on the business side, but also personal, because your business is only going to grow as fast as you grow as a person. Business is already business, right? Usually, as a matter of fact, sometimes we say business as usual. Business, we know what it is, right? But us personally, when we grow, that's when our business can grow. So to end my presentation, this is the opportunity that we're bringing to you. Expand your opportunities by becoming a Latino Franchise Association member today, and join us and be part of the growth.
Increíble, ¿verdad? De verdad que la explicación que tuvimos hoy, fabulosa. Latino Franchise Association es un éxito desde...
La radio show, no se lo pierdan, que eso está caliente. Inscríbanse.
A latinos que también lo puedan hacer.
¿Dónde uno puede encontrar su podcast?
Bueno, el podcast está en todas las plataformas de podcast, desde Spotify, Google, Apple, iHeart, todas ellas, y hasta en YouTube también, si quieres ver los videos.
Qué bueno. Una cosa más que quiero preguntarte. No solamente la gente que tiene empresas o quieren ser franquiciarios pueden aprovechar las oportunidades en esta organización. Creo que hay empresarios, gente que quieren ser parte de la organización como asesores de franquiciarios también.
Claro que sí, porque hay también una sección para suppliers, gente que quieran vender sus servicios, y gente que a lo mejor no entiende ni sabe nada de franquicia y quieran aprender. Van a haber conferencias, van a haber seminarios, van a haber webinars, van a haber convenciones a nivel nacional donde la gente pueda ir y le dé inspirarlo para que realmente inviertan en todo lo que es el mundo de franquicia.
Bueno, repite otra vez la página donde pueden la gente buscar más información de esto.
en el www.latinofranchise.org.
Bueno, seguimos con más. Bueno.
Así mismo es, y la verdad eso ha sido un evento sumamente increíble donde aprendimos bastante en el día de hoy. Así que si usted quiere poner a ganar su dinero, pues venga y únase acá con Franchise Latinos Associates.
Gracias. Un placer, Carmen, siempre por el apoyo y todo lo que tú haces por nosotros, los negocios, la empresa. Y creo que esto es algo que va a beneficiar a toda nuestra gente latina. Así que nosotros no lo podemos hacer sin el apoyo de todos ustedes y gracias a todo el elenco de Opción New York y gracias a todos, Heredia como siempre y gracias campeón, nada, para adelante, van a haber muchos más eventos como este, hasta la próxima.
Bueno señores, ya saben, franchise.org, latinofranchise.org para más información y nada, cualquier cosa nos contactan a nosotros, contactan a Rafael Álvarez y nada, seguimos con más.
¿Quieren hacer
en inglés y aquí él me lo traduce.
Él me lo va a traducir. Bueno, aquí pueden hacer networking events, pueden hacer workshops, summits. Aquí la imaginación.
Grandes eventos, work and shop, ventas.
Eventos. Lo que usted se imagine para su compañía, me pueden contactar.
Juntadera.
Todo lo
Networking,
que
eso es juntadera.
Juntadera, networking. Quieren hacer un momento para
para la empresa.
Claro, aquí. Y si quieren hacer día de holidays, también pueden hacer aquí.
Un party también.
Ponemos un DJ aquí en la esquina. Aquí se hace.
Bueno, o sea que
aquí se hace de todos
mi
esos
cumpleaños
tipos de
63
eventos. O sea, hasta cumpleaños podemos celebrar acá.
Claro, aquí. Si lo tienes en tu imagen, bueno.
Nada más que solamente hay que venir a hablar contigo y tú haces que eso sea posible.
Claro.
¿Cómo podemos contactarte?
Me pueden contactar Alexandra Nuishy, A-L-Nuishy, A-L-E-L-N-E-W-I-S-H-Y WELLDURSTOWTC.com. Es un poquito largo, pero bueno, yo puedo invitar a practicar. Lo pueden
Claro
poner
que
ahí
sí, lo
abajo.
tenemos ya aquí en el cintillo, aquí debajo, para que ustedes tomen esa información para cualquier tipo de evento en el One World Trade Center, donde aquí le ofrecen todos estos tipos de servicios. En el día de hoy la pasamos sumamente plenamente magnífico, fantástico, solamente con la vista.
Y sale muy caro esto.
No, para nada. No.
Porque cualquier gente que está diciendo, no, World Trade Center, se imagina todo por todo el mundo.
A ver, si tú estás buscando un evento aquí o en otra parte, el precio es comparable. No solamente porque estamos en el edificio más lindo, más alto de Nueva York, es que va a ser caro.
Y que, excúseme, el más lindo y más alto de Nueva York. Mira, bravo.
El edificio más lindo y más alto de Nueva York y de Estados Unidos. Claro.
Así es, porque este viene siendo el séptimo edificio más alto de todo el mundo. Después de la caída de los gemelos, que eran ya, los gemelos eran los más altos del mundo, pero después de Dubai, correctamente. Bueno, tenemos a Álvarez aquí también que se une y la verdad le hemos pasado magníficamente, oye, espectacular.
Gracias a
Una
Alexandra.
vista entre sí.
Gracias a Alexandra, ella es la encargada de este venue, de este lugar. Y ella siempre es la que nos acomoda, hace todo lo necesario para que nosotros buscamos bien. Yo no creo en ningún otro lugar en la ciudad de Nueva York como esto, con vistas tan espectaculares como esto. El crédito se lo lleva ahí. Y el servicio
es muy bueno.
Muchas gracias.
El servicio es excelente, la comida, los cócteles que fueron servidos en el día de hoy y cómo socializamos para este gran evento. Y la verdad que sí, muchísimas gracias nuevamente por acogernos acá. Y bueno, mi gente, espero que hayan disfrutado de este gran contenido que le traímos a todos ustedes. Para más información, para contactar a Alessandra y ustedes quieren también rentar este espacio, tenemos la información aquí debajo en el cintillo. Será entonces hasta una próxima acá en Opción New York.
Señores, Roberto se despide con Alexandra, Latino Power en One Trade Center.
Claro.